I'm going to talk about what if the solar system has two stars orbiting each other. So let's unpause time, see what happens. So you could go it's like that fast for one. So actually, it's going to like collide with each other, go supernovas, summon sometimes in the simulation. So by real life, it could happen actually. So not not real life, but this is what shows in the simulation. But real life is going to be so different. So now let's turn on realistic view. So let's put a star here, like sun actually. So put the second star. So let's turn off space goggles and turn on orbits so you could see everything what's happening. So it didn't last time you didn't check the Earth's average temperature. So on pause time and see what happens. The sun gets extremely bright because those two stars colliding with each other. There's no sun actually, so sun anywhere, not even single star. So it's gonna when it collides with each other, it creates a supernova. So the Earth's average temperature is already skyrocketed like 0.2 days to 1 day in the simulations. So let's see what happens in the next year in the simulations. So speed up time, the supernova is gonna get darker, 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 and then disappear, fully disappears. So it's not gonna exist. The name supernova won't exist. We can't edit it. So 6 years later, like 67, 68. I'm gonna ignore that actually. So after a long, long time, like years, like 3 years, like after decades, actually, the supernova will disappear. So let's talk about occurring pattern actually. So it's gonna set up everything back to like the website of Weatherable. So let's talk about the pressure patterns. Let's see if everything is normal. So there's some negative PNA for now, but like today, November 20th, 1 p.m. So 7 p.m. there's still some negative PNAs. So let's go to 24 hours. 24 hours, there's some positive PNAs. So next 24 hours, there's still some positive PNA. So next 24 hours, still positive PNA X because of. And let's go to final hour. And there's some negative PNA for now. So we didn't talk about the pressure pattern actually. So there's some 1020 millibars of pressure mixing with some kind of pressures. I'm gonna skip that actually, so I don't need it. So the 7 p.m. is the actual one, actual pressure. So there's some pressure I can't see it right away. So it's going to be some 1016 millibars. Actually, that's wrong. That's 1020 millibars pressure is affecting South Toronto actually. So next hour, including low pressures, human, not mentioned, it's like Northern Ontario. So next 24 hours, so 7 p.m. Let's see what is the strongest, closest, strongest pressure. It's going to be 1012 millimeters of pressure. So next 24 hours, so there's some 1016 millibars pressure, the strongest and closest. So next 24 hours. So let's see what strongest pressure I could see in this map. It's hard to see. So it's going to be 1016. Some be 1016 and 1024. So it's gonna be 1024 or 1020 something. So I'm gonna skip it. Might be skipped. So this only one day skipped. So let's do 7 p.m. So the strongest closest pressure is going to be gonna take a while. So it's gonna be 10, 20 millibars of pressure. You can see the two there, and this is wrong. So let's zoom out to equal. So it's gonna be something. So this is gonna zoom into eastern or northeastern United States. So it's easier to see. So northeastern. So let's see, like the strongest pressure is 1020 millibars of pressure. So let's go back to 90th hour. That's 1016 millibars of pressure actually. So let's talk about it and go back to Toronto. Zoom into Toronto. This is Toronto right here. So go back to 1 p.m. Get it 1 p.m. actually. So there's nothing else. Don't need to draw anything. So 7 p.m. there's nothing else. So 7 a.m. there's something. So Orilla, Georginia, Barry, Beverly Hills, Whitetown, Owen Sound, Lions Head, Whole Bay, Thunder Beach, Palm Beach, Salt Lake Beach, Midland, Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls, City, Fort Erie, Cuba, Peterborough, Belleville, Long Point, Hanover, Port Elgin. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So let's go to 3 p.m. 1 p.m. actually. So Orilla, Thunder Beach, Palm Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Midland, Lions Head, Whole Bay is gonna get some 0 point, including Fort Erie, Newmarket, Stouffville, Oshawa, Uxbridge. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So, and there's Hanover, but Hanover is off. So, Hanover is too far actually. So, let's go to 7 p.m. tomorrow. So, Salt Lake Bay, on the beach, Midland. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So let's go to 7 a.m. snowfall in Barrie. So snowfall in Barrie, 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. So Tony Beach, Palm Beach, Collingwood. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. I'm not gonna count Collingwood actually. So 1 p.m. So Collingwood is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of snowfall. There's nothing else in Southern Ontario. So 7 p.m. There's nothing else. So 7 a.m. There's something. So Scarborough is gonna get some mixed rain and snow mix. 0.25 millimeters of rain and snow mix. Down to Toronto, 0.25 millimeters. This time I'm gonna say Niagara on the Lake. Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls City, even though it's mixed. But Erie is gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So Scarborough is done. Down to Toronto is done. Don't need to say it, even though it's said we are actually gonna do Niagara on the Lake. So Market, Orangeville, Stouffville, Oshawa, Uxbridge. Not Oshawa still counts even though it's rainfall at the edge, like end of it. So Peterborough, Belleville, London doesn't count. So Collingwood, Barnbury, Salt Lake Bay, Midland, Orilla, Barrie, Georginia, Beverly Hills. Those cities are gonna get Mississauga, Brampton, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, parts of it. Those cities are gonna get sub 0.25 millimeters of snow. 1 hour rainfall. Oshawa, Quebec, Barton, Wind Sound, Lions Head, Hobie, Port Elgin, Hanover. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, except Hanover. So Hanover is actually gonna get mixed 0.25 millimeters of rain and snow mix. So next hour. So 1 p.m. actually. So Quebec, Peterborough, Belleville, Oshawa, Uxbridge, Orilla, Georginia, Beverly Hills, Barrie, Collingwood, Whiteton, Windsong, Hull Bay, Lions Head, Thunder Beach, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Midland, Hanover, Port Elgin. Those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall, including Fort Erie, parts of Niagara Falls City, parts of Niagara, except So Niagara on the lake has no rainfall. So let's look at the next hour, 10 p.m. So Bon Beach, Thunder Beach, Solid Bay, Midland, Orilla, Berry, Georginia, Beverly Isles, Uxbridge, Collingwood, not Collingwood. So those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters of rainfall. So let's do 7 a.m. There's nothing else. 1 p.m. There's nothing else. 4 p.m. There's nothing else. So let's look at total rainfall once every 12 hours. This might correct everything. So 8 p.m. there's nothing else except Northwest Ontario. So Northwest and Southern Ontario actually. So let's do 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's gonna be 7 and 8 p.m. random. So Stoffel slash Markham, Kubuk, Uxbridge, Stoffel's done actually. So that's Uxbridge is 0.7 millimeters of rainfall, but Stoffel, Markham, Port Erie, Lions Head, Hope Bay, Kubuk, those cities are gonna get some 0.2 millimeters of rainfall. So let's see if it's heavier precipitation possible. So Uxbridge, not Stoffel. Uxbridge, Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Midland, Orilla, those cities are gonna get some 0.25 millimeters or 0.7 millimeters of rainfall in those cities. So one city off, not off. So next hour, a November 22nd. So 1 millimeters of rain in Collingwood. So let's do 8 p.m., 7 p.m. actually. So Oshawa, Uxbridge is gonna get some 0.2 millimeters of rainfall, like clearly parts of Niagara Falls City. So line said OB is going to be same precipitation amount. So those cities are gonna get some 0.2 millimeters of rainfall. So Wyerton, Owen Sound, not Owen Sound. Collingwood, Kubuk's 1 millimeters, right? Peterborough is gonna get some 0.7 millimeters of rainfall in those cities. So Owen Sound can't see the precipitation. So it's gonna be 1.2 millimeters of rainfall. Kubuk's 1 millimeters of rainfall. Uxbridge is 1 millimeters of rainfall. Uxbridge is actually 1 millimeters of rainfall. So Newmarket is actually going to be 0.2 millimeters of rainfall. So for Erie, 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. For Elgin is going to get some 0.7 millimeters of rainfall. This is average. So Hanoi is going to be 1.2 millimeters of rainfall borderline. So Orilla, Georginia is going to be 1.2 millimeters of rainfall. Berry is going to be 1.7 millimeters, so 1.9 actually, 1.9. Actually, it could be 2 millimeters of rain, but it's gonna be too heavy here. So it's gonna be 2.3 millimeters of rainfall in Berry. Georginia, Beverly don't need to be corrected. So Beverly Isles is going to get, so it's gonna be close to, so it's gonna be 0.8 millimeters, 0.7 actually millimeters of rainfall. So next hour. So let's do it again. Like go back again. So let's do the November 24th actually. So there's nothing else. This is later, the first one actually. So London, Niagara on the Lake, Collingwood is going to be 7 degrees, Wyton, Lions Head or Bay 6 degrees, Hamilton 6 degrees, down Brampton, Dr. Toronto, Stoffel, Scarborough is Cobourg, Belleville is 5 degrees, Niagara Falls is 6 degrees, Hamilton 6 degrees, same thing in Hopewell is actually 5 degrees. Newmarket, Uxbridge, Orangeville 5 degrees. Cobourg 4 degrees, including Gasha 4 degrees. So let's look at Lake Single first. So Barry is going to be 4 degrees, Georginia 5 degrees, Orilla 5 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, Beverly Hills is 5 degrees, Bomb Beach, Thunder Beach, Solid Beach is going to be 6 degrees. So next hour, London 5 degrees, 5 degrees in Collingwood, 4 degrees in Whitehaven, 5 degrees in Brampton, 4 degrees in Stockport, 6 degrees in Downtown Toronto, Scarborough 5 degrees. Hamilton, Burlington, Oakland, London, all this like almost all the time it's gonna be same temperatures. So 6 degrees on the cities, so Niagara on the lake, 7 degrees, Niagara Falls City is 6 degrees, Port Erie 7 degrees, Oshawa 5 degrees, 3 degrees in Newmarket, Oval, Uxbridge is 4 degrees, 6 degrees in Cuba, 3 degrees in Peterborough, Belleville 5 degrees. So now we could look at Lake Cinco. So Lake Cinco's. So Georginia is 5 degrees, Beverly Hills is 4 degrees, I think Barry Orilla. So Orilla is 4 degrees, Lions Head Bay is going to be 5 degrees, 40. Actually, 4 degrees is in Lions Head, Hope Bay is actually 5 degrees. So Palm Beach is 6 degrees, 7 degrees in Salt Lake Bay and on the beach. So next hour, 3 p.m. So London, Brampton, Toronto, Toronto, Oakville, Hamilton, Burlington, Scarborough, Stouffville is 7 degrees. So now we could do 9 degrees. Niagara, everywhere in Niagara Falls, including Guns. Why it's gonna be 9 degrees? Newmarket, Orangeville, Uxbridge, Peterborough, it's gonna be 7 degrees. Oshawa, Cobourg, Belleville, 7 degrees. Whitehaven, 4 degrees. 5 degrees in Collingwood. We could do Lake Cinco later on. So like I said, our base going to be 4 degrees. So Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay is 5 degrees. So you could do Lake Cinco. So Barrie is going to be 5 degrees. Georginia 6 degrees. Beverly Hills is 6 degrees. Orla 5 degrees. So we could do next hour 8 a.m. London 0 degrees. So down to Toronto is 2 degrees. 3 degrees in Niagara on the lake. Now we can do -1. So -1 in Peterborough, Cobourg. So final. So Hamilton, Brampton, Oakville, Burlington, Stouffville, Newmarket, Uxbridge, Oshawa, Cobourg, Whitehaven, Collingwood, Lions Head, Hope Bay, Dunbar Beach, Salt Lake Bay, Thunder Beach. Those cities are gonna be 1 degrees, including Orangeville. So Niagara on the Lake is 1 degrees, 48 is 1 degrees. Actually 2 degrees. So next 3 p.m. So London, Brampton, Downtown Toronto, Oshawa, Cobourg, Belleville, 4 degrees, including Niagara Falls City, 48 is 5 degrees. Niagara on the Lake is 5 degrees in Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville. So Stouffville 3 degrees, 2 degrees in Newmarket, Orangeville, Uxbridge, Peterborough. So Niagara Falls City is 4 degrees, Whitehaven, Collingwood 2 degrees, 2 degrees, 1 degrees, 2 degrees, could be 1. Most is 2 degrees, and Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay is 1 degrees. Barrie, Lions Head, Hope Bay is going to be 2 degrees. Orella is going to be 2 degrees. Georginia 2 degrees. Beverly Hills 2 degrees. Barrie 2 degrees, 1 degrees. So next hours. So 8 a.m. London, Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls cities. So Cobourg, Whitehaven is gonna be 4 degrees. Brampton, Oshawa is 2 degrees. 5 degrees in Niagara on the Lake. 3 degrees in Collingwood. So down to Toronto, 3 degrees. Newmarket, Orangeville, no, Orangeville. So in Orangeville, Stouffville, Uxbridge, Peterborough, Belleville is 1 degrees, 48 is 6 degrees. So Barry's 1 degree, Georginia's 2 degrees, 1 degree. So it's going 1 degree in Georginia, 2 degrees actually. So Orilla is going to be 1 degree, Beverly Isles 1 degree, Lion's Head or Bay is going to be 5 degrees. Bombay, Salt Lake Bay is going to be 2 degrees. Thunder Beach is going to be 4 degrees, 5 degrees. So 3 p.m. November 23rd. London, Stouffville, Oshawa, 7 degrees. 6 degrees is in Newmarket, Orangeville, Coburg. 5 degrees in Belleville, Peterborough, 4 degrees. 5 degrees is in Uxbridge. Now we can do 8 degrees. So Hamilton, Brampton, Dutch Toronto, Oakville, Burlington, Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Falls City. It's gonna be 48 is 8 degrees also. Those cities are 8 degrees. So Watertown is 6 degrees, Collingwood 5 degrees, Lions Head or Bay is gonna be 6 degrees. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach, Salt Lake Bay. It's gonna be 6 degrees, 5 degrees in Salt Lake Bay. Barrie 5 degrees. Georginia 6 degrees, 5 degrees. 5 degrees. It's in Georginia. Beverly Hills, Orilla is gonna be 4 degrees. Beverly Hills so 6 degrees. So let's do 7 a.m. Second final hour. So London 0, 1 Barton, 2 is Collingwood. 1 is down to Toronto. Hamilton, Burlington, local is 2 degrees. 1 degrees is in Niagara on the lake. Oshawa is 1 degrees. 1 degree is in Quebec. -2 is Belleville. So -1 is in Niagara Falls City. +2 is in Fort Erie, Brampton, the Stouffville, Newmarket, Orangeville. Sto not Stouffville. Uxbridge, Peterborough. It's gonna be -2 to -1 actually. So now we could look at the hardest final 3 cities, not 3, but so Barrie is 1 degree, Georginia is 2 degrees, Orella is -2, -1. -1, Beverly Hills is +1, Lions Head or Bay is +1, Palm Beach is 5 degrees, could be 4. 5 degrees, Thunder Beach 5 degrees, Salt Lake Bay is gonna be 1 something temperatures. So it's gonna be 4 degrees in Salt Lake Bay. So let's look at the final hour, 1:11 actually. So London, 8 degrees, 8 degrees in Niagara on the Lake, Hamilton, Burlington, local 7 degrees, 4 degrees in Belleville, 6 degrees in Brampton, downtown Toronto, 7 degrees in Niagara Falls City, for 80 it's gonna be 7 degrees, 6 degrees in Watertown, 6 degrees in Collingwood, so Newmarket is 5 degrees, Toefl, Uxbridge, Oshawa, Coburg, Peterborough, 5 degrees. Range was 6 degrees. It could be 5 degrees. It could be 5.5 actually. So now you can look at our harder cities. Palm Beach, Thunder Beach. It's gonna be 6 degrees. 5 degrees in Salt Lake Bay, Midland. The Midland is also in the list. So Lions Head or Bay is gonna be same temperature. So it's gonna be 5 degrees, 6 degrees. Could be 7 degrees. Actually. 7 degrees most of the time. 7 degrees is actually in like Lion's Head OB actually. So Orlella is going to be 5 degrees. 5 degrees in Georginia. Beverly Hills is actually is going to be but actually 6 degrees in Georginia, very. Beverly Hills is actually is going to be 5 degrees. So cities are corrected for real. It's like in Lake Cinco. So this is the end of the video.